Today's video is a little more personal. It's about the values that our team has and about building community. On our team, um, we have always wanted to make sure that we are giving back to the communities that are serving us. We are so fortunate as realtors to benefit from wonderful people, wonderful clients, wonderful friends, wonderful colleagues that we work with. And we very much believe in the social contract that nobody succeeds alone, and that we have an obligation as people, and an obligation as people who are successful in our communities, to give back and help those who are less fortunate, to give lift up to those who can use it, and to make sure that our society is more fair and equitable and positive to live in. So the question today is, why did we choose some of the causes that we've chosen? So this week, as we get ready to walk for our Coldest Night of the Year fundraiser, I'll explain a little bit about what being people first means to our team. So number one is just that we have to mean it. So early on, when I was a realtor, one of the things that I wrestled with was the change from being a teacher. I used to be an elementary school teacher, and I always could see the purpose in being an elementary school teacher or a teacher of any kind. You were shaping students, you were giving them the tools to engage with the world and succeed and shape it, and you were planting the seeds of a tree that you would never sit in the shade of. To steal a phrase from somebody else. With real estate, you don't immediately see that same kind of impact. I mean, sure, you're helping people at a very important time of their life, but what's different in the way that I could do it versus the way that anybody could do it? And I mean, what's different in the way that most of us go out and do our jobs and our roles? So early on as a realtor, my first motto on my business cards was one relationship at a time, one client at a time, or the reverse of that, actually, one client, one relationship. And I thought that was a good way to start. I thought, okay, I have to focus on the impact that I have on the people that I'm serving. This is a big thing for everybody who works with me, that's moving. And I want to make sure that they know that they're important to me, and that I'm helping them to make the best move. I'm focusing on what's important to them, not just what's important to me for keeping the bills paid. So it has to be, whatever I do has to be a little bit more than just a job, if that makes sense. As the team grew, as the community grew that we served, as the number of our past clients and friends that we had an impact on grew, we changed the model. We updated it to Ottawa's People First Realtor. So it shows more than just a commitment to our clients. It shows commitment to the communities that we serve. It's a reflection of our team's values, at being approachable, sharing openly, and of building connections that make our world a little bit better place to live in. We want to be a net positive for the place that we serve, for the world that we serve. So every community initiative we take keeps that in mind. If something like that is going to be our model, a big sweeping statement like Ottawa's People First Realtor, then we have to live that. We can't just have it on the website, say that that's who we are, and call it a day. So in addition to, doing things like Coldest Night of the Year and doing a walk, or doing things that are hands-on, we also contribute to different charities. And I wanted to outline today why we choose the ones that we do. They're all local because we think that it's good to have impact that is local and visible. It's where we can have the most impact for every dollar that we donate. And also, by being local, I think that it helps show our local community and helps, hopefully inspire some community action from the people that we serve as well. We would like to not just be people who go and serve our community, but also be a force for positive change. So here's some local causes and why we love them. Our team has a tradition of donating a portion of every commission to a local cause on behalf of our clients. So you can see some of these if you go up to the top of the website, and you go under our team and you go, We Love Ottawa. It shows some of the main ones that we do. But here's what they mean to me personally. So the first one is the Royal LePage Shelter Foundation. So this one helps women and children who are fleeing domestic violence. And more specifically, we donate to a couple of shelters here in Ottawa. In a wealthy country like Canada, I think it's inexcusable for anyone not to have a roof over their heads. We're a rich company or a rich country, and I think that goes double for women and children who are vulnerable and fleeing a domestic violence situation. We've seen it. I mean, so many of us have seen that personally in our lives and know people who've benefited from or who could benefit from situations like this. And so we think that the Royal LePage Shelter Foundation is a great way to be able to give that back. We're not under any illusions that we as realtors are solving the problem all by ourselves, but I like to think that the donations that me and our colleagues give to the Shelter Foundation have helped some people who needed it see a brighter day, or even just see another day. So that's why that one's important to me. Coldest night of the year. So, I mean, this is a newer one for our team. But Hannah, bless her, is suggested that we walk in this fundraiser for here in 2024. And I was not aware of it before this year. But coldest night of the year supports shelters. So it's a lot like Shelter Foundation, except it's for people who would otherwise be homeless. And we're fundraising for two shelters, two organizations in Lower Town specifically this year, because they're local to us. They, we can see when you go down to the market in Ottawa, the Byward Market, you can see, the effects of homelessness on people. You can see, that happening in our own communities, in the center of our nation's capital. So no one deserves to be homeless. No one deserves the indignity of not having a home when there's so much wealth around them. So this organization helps to give a little bit of dignity and a little bit of safety to some of the people who are the most vulnerable. Camp 10 Oaks. So sometimes our contributions are, could be seen as a little bit political. And this might be one of them. I think, I'm going to say and claim this. Everyone deserves a space where they can be free to be themselves. And I think my team agrees with that. Camp 10 Oaks is one of those spaces for 2S LGBTQ plus community. The whole rainbow. And supporting this organization also means that we refuse to be silent against the bigots who would erase these spaces. There are forces in the world, and I'm not going to name them here, but who think that trans people don't have rights, that think it is wrong for people not to love whoever they want to love, for people who think it's not okay to be queer. There are whole organizations, there are people, there are political movements that want to erase those spaces, and we're saying no, we don't agree with that. And no, we don't want to work with you if you're a person who believes that. So we refuse to be silent against that. And contributing to an organization like that is just one very small way that we plant our flag and say, this is who we stand for. This is who we stand with. And we're proud to, help give some of these spaces to be allies to the less fortunate, the people who unfortunately don't just have these spaces available to. We can help give them to them. Planned Parenthood Ottawa. Women's rights are human rights. Women's rights are human rights. Across the world, same thing. There are organizations that will and do turn back the clock on women's rights. There are so many countries around the world where women's rights are not what we have in Canada and are not what they should be. And that's objective. That's not a matter of, religious perspective or political perspective. If in places where women don't have the same rights as men, those places, those organizations are wrong and they need to change. We might not be able to change them everywhere in the world, one only needs to look south of the border and see the repeal of Roe versus Wade in the United States for a really chilling example of how that can happen in supposedly the freest country in the world. So supporting an organization like Planned Parenthood is one small way that we can contribute and show where our team stands on reproductive rights and women's rights. And if you disagree with that, screw you. Rideau Valley Wildlife Sanctuary. So way less controversial here. Our most valuable treasure is our natural world. At a time when nature is being constantly threatened by humanity's actions, this is just one small way to serve nature locally. And then finally, the Boys and Girls Club of Ottawa. We picked this one because even though I may not be an elementary school teacher anymore, I do know the value of positive mentors and opportunities in our children's lives. We see it. I see it in my own boys. We see it in our friends' kids who have such wonderful parents. Uh, I see it in Jill still being a teacher and shaping the opportunities the kids have and what they learn. Uh, the Boys and Girls Club is so effective at being involved in kids' lives at a crucial point in their time. In a world where kids are getting so many messages, boys and young men are getting some horrible messages through social media about what it means to be a man, about, being toxic masculinity and things like that. Boys and Girls Club of Ottawa is one of those organizations that's a force for good. And so we're happy to support it. There's my soapbox for today. I hope you found this a little useful insight to my team and to our values. I hope that this resonates with you. If it doesn't, I'd love to have a conversation with you. But this is where we stand, and these are things that are important to us. So I'll end it with a few tips, how you can give back to your own community. So if you watch this and you think this, you might want to get involved. One is just to volunteer. As realtors, we've got to go out and sell houses. So we contribute monetarily, we contribute by fundraising where we can, or, organizing a fundraiser. And we understand how busy all our lives are. So if you can't, if you want to do something, you can find some time in your life to do, to contribute directly, whether it's serving soup at the Ottawa Mission or doing a run for cancer once a year. There's all kinds of opportunities locally to get directly involved. Just ask me and the team. We know all kinds of organizations that would love to have you, way more than we could ever get involved in, but we would love to direct you and connect you with somebody who needs you. You can start a fundraiser. I love putting together activities. So if you want a partner in crime to start a fundraiser, you want somebody to contribute to it or give you, help promote it or help organize it, come and talk to me. One of the things that we do is a bonspiel for shelter, where we do a curling. I'm a curler, and we run a tournament that raises money for the Royal LePage Shelter Foundation. This is something anybody can do. Pick an activity that you are passionate about, that you enjoy, and figure out a way to have fun and raise money at the same time. We're here to help you organize it if you want. And then lastly, just let us know. Is there a cause that we don't know about that you think would fit who we are and fit our values? As long as it aligns with our values, we will happily signal boost for you. So come to us. Maybe we can give you a donation, maybe we can boost you on social media, or maybe we can participate if you're doing some sort of activity. Just point me and the team where you want us to go. And if we can, we will be pleased and proud to join you. We really do love all of our clients and the community that we've built. I hope that you resonate with the values that I'm talking about here today, and the choices of these particular charities to represent some of those. We will continue to be people who are people first around the city and in our lives and in our work. So thank you for watching my soapbox today.